Okay, let's see. Where am I looking at? All right, here. Okay. How's it going, everyone? Welcome, welcome. Today, I was just thinking about going over my DJ setup, the the visuals I use, some of the things I've learned. I think I want to start out with just a very basic visuals that I used when I first started all this demo derby stuff. Something that's free and I want to say easy. There was a couple like weird quirks to it, but it was definitely free. And moving up from there to what I currently have, and maybe even getting in the Twitch integrations if people are interested. So first off, I think let me pull up a blank OBS profile. Was it right here? Okay, yeah. And I guess the first thing to do really is to get, your visual program in here. So when I first started doing the demo derby stuff, I was using WinAmp or Milkdrop. So I still actually use Milkdrop through a program called Nestdrop, but that is a program that does cost $50. But if you just want to try it out, get started, this is a way to do it, is just to get WinAmp. So here's WinAmp, and it already comes with Milkdrop in it. And so it's just the visualization. I think you need to go to here. You can stop it, configure it. If it's not already loaded in, you can select it, but it's just Milkdrop 2. The one thing you need to do is you need to take your sound card and put it into your computer's line and input. And by doing that, WinAmp, you can set a URL link. And what you need to do for that is to type in line in ://. And that will allow WinAmp to listen to that input jack. Now, from here, you can always go to your OBS and do a window capture. Let me see here we go. Create a window capture for, let's say, Milkdrop. And yeah, here we go. Here's WinAmp. So you select that and just, expand it up to the window. You probably want to make Milkdrop as big as possible. Whoop, that's not right. Where's it? Right here. Probably want to make it as big as possible. I never liked having it full screen because then you couldn't tab away. This way it'll still, because you'll see here, it's still playing in the background, even though it's behind the OBS. If you have a full screen, you can't, tab away, and it'll just pause. And you can crop it too. So like Alt and crop. You hold Alt and you can crop it down, and you crop it a little on the side. And then there you go. You have your WinAmp visual. And so it can be a little tricky. You have to censor it, whatever. But here you go. Now you have Milkdrop listening or behind on the screen, reacting to the input you set to your line in. Probably it's not scaling. It's not the best, but there's some compromises I was making, and this is how I did it. Not the greatest, I agree, alert. But if you crop it in and you try to get it to not scale or zoom, let me try that again. I'll reset the transform. Reset transform. So like if you have it like this, because this is, if you were trying to do 720 or 1080p, you want to keep the native resolution. You don't want to expand it, but just crop it like Lark's saying. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to be that big of an issue, I guess. I could never figure out with WinAmp to do a audio cable in. I was always looking for that, and it just seemed that the only option in is, and that's the big compromise with doing this in this way. I was searching, doing a lot of forum searching, and the only thing I could find was that line-in worked. There's not really any other inputs in. You could play a video and it will react to a video. So yeah, I'm not really good. I don't know other options. This is what I've learned and what I've found. So maybe, was it RME? This is you're broke, you got nothing option, and you still want something. So yeah. Overall, I don't recommend it. If you're trying to do this for a long term, don't do this way. I would recommend another program. The one I like is Nestdrop next. Nestdrop is a $50 program, but the big benefit is that I don't need to do this line-in thing. They've already got a good selection of presets, and they have MIDI control with it too, along with spout integration. So let's talk about that. Yeah, that's a big thing, is that the line-in was garbage for the computer. It tons of noise with it. So fading in and out, that was a big thing when I was using this guy, and I had no sound card on the computer. I was just going from those RCA plugs to the line-in, and definitely noisy. I mean, you can get away with it when it was. Oh yeah, I figured it out. I remember it was the USB that was actually adding noise too. So something like that was adding noise. I was using a USB 2.0 on the front of my computer, and once I switched it to the 3.0, for some reason that made it less noisy, but there's still noise. But it's rough, and I don't like dealing with that. Going to Nestdrop, I will pull that up right now. Here we go. So yeah, this is the website right here, Nestdrop, or nestimmersion.ca/nestdrop.html. There's two flavors, classic and midnight. I dealt with the classic because the midnight has all the DJ features, like the line in, line out, the spout stuff. Yeah. Obviously, if you have a sound card, all this would be a lot better. I just, at the time, I don't have a sound card, actually, an external one. So there's like compromises I'm making. I want to get one at some point, but there's other things I want to get first. So yeah, here you go, $50. Really great, and it's well worth it, I think. Let's pull up right here, and here's the overall format of it. So there's usually just two windows. I have three windows that pop up, but the main ones are this guy right here and this one. So here's the basically the spout output that you'll see, just a preview. The main window has all these presets for you that you can use in terms of, and they give you a little visual of what it is. But the big deal is over here in the settings. You can have 4 different outputs at the same time, so 4 spouts. I only have the one going right now, just because, I mean, that's the main background screen. I haven't played around with more yet, but I don't see the point yet. I think this would be useful if you want to want to queue up things in the background, and you want to switch between them. I think that's a possibility, but I haven't played around with that yet. So you can set your spout resolution, and so you can make sure that's native full screen within OBS. And here's where, in the general settings, is where you would set in your effects. And apparently it's set to my microphone, so you can see it's reacting to my voice right now. I don't know why it's defaulted to that. Maybe it's just because my mixer is not plugged in right now. But you'll set it to what you want. So luckily, any input you have, you can set it that way. I do like that the Pioneer stuff has the USB audio stuff. So I just hook it up here, have the drivers for that mixer, but it'll still come up in this drop-down list. After you get this, two things you need to do. You can either have it go through presets automatically. The button for that is up here. It says auto change enable disable. And you just select that, and there's also a random or in order. We'll just put it on in order. I find that a lot of these, oh my god, yeah, a lot of these are too busy. Like this one right now, that's going to give me a stroke. I'll cover that up. So I have I've made a list. You can make queue lists, and I've selected the ones that I like so far. I think there's a couple on here I want to change, but overall these are the ones I like because they're not so busy. Like this guy, like this is a really nice one. And because also you got to deal with the compression of Twitch, right? So there's a couple I have actually that I thought were okay, but they just really reduce my resolution. Like they just tank it automatically. This one being a good one. If you have a lot of colors and a lot of changing, and a lot of them are changing constantly or rapidly, just tanks your resolution. So try to avoid that if you can. But if it's just like one or two colors, even at like this intensity, it usually works a lot better. But when it has so many colors, it just dies. Yeah, exactly. I was going to get to a bit of that. So I have yet to get to integrate my camera with Nest, but it is possible. So this does have a spout input, which is cool. I've yet to toy with that, but you can go down, way down. Where is it? Right here. So there's spout sprites, or just image sprites. I think it's somewhere down here, but I think this is where it would show up if you had another spout stream going. And you could input what you do into this, and then it will just work in with that. Again, I still get to do it, but I'm working on it. I want to do it. You can even these are kind of goofy, these preset pictures, but you can have a little picture in here, and we'll show you a little example of how the embedded image would work, like this ant. So you can overlay it. There's that ant right there. Or you can nest it. And so it'll be integrated within the visual itself. So it's white on white right now, and come on. Where's my listing? Okay, let's try this. How about that? Does this integrate them at all? Probably not. Maybe this guy. Yeah, so they're in there. They were. How about this guy? Yeah, there you go. So it can embed them. It'll work with itself, these pictures into there. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot you can do, and I want to get another program to go along with this. But yeah, but that's the thing. That's the nice thing about it, is that it has that spout in and spout out. And so if any other program you have has that same functionality of having spouts, then it'll work with it. And so you can get Nestdrop to work, go into program, or have another visual program go into this, and it'll just if it has spout or the spout stuff, it'll just work. So yeah, if you get an NDI into Resolume, like Lurk is here saying, and then Resolume output to a spout stream, you can have that go right into here and show up in OBS. So the one other thing you need to do is you need to get a plugin by Shugen002. It's the OBS Spout 2 source plugin. So get this, you get the release. the setup right here. Download this, install it, and or if you know how to do them manually, just manually put it into OBS, and then you can, and then here you go. Then you have a spout 2 capture. So you do this, and then we say Nestdrop, and then you'll see Nestdrop deck 1, and then there you go. And now you have that Nestdrop spout output in your OBS. So that's it. That's pretty simple, I think. And it took me a little bit to get here. I didn't understand what the whole spout thing was at first. I was just doing a video capture of the of WinAmp, but luckily you guys told me about Nestdrop, and here's the result. You know, other aspects, since we have I guess Lurk here, I think I'll go over the Twitch integration, but it's really powerful. I really like having that, and I want to explore it more. Let me describe what I have at the moment. At the moment, I have the ability to have command, like 2 or 3 commands in Twitch at the moment that, when entered, will actually change the preset I have within Nestdrop. So if you type in, say, exclamation point next visual, it'll switch to the next visual within Nestdrop for me. Same for previous, and I'll like a play pause thing. Definitely gonna explore that more, but at the moment, that's what I have. Now, how that works is that you'll need 3 things, I think. First being a GitHub package, or a software package called Kruiz Control. Another program called Voice Attack, which costs $10, and then a plugin that Lurk here wrote for Voice Attack. And more explanation, like more details, and like I definitely recommend going to our Discord and looking through the stream dev. I think at the very beginning of the stream dev channel, he has it listed there, and the actual links for them. But let's go over Kruiz Control. And here, Cruiser 8, Kruiz Control. So this page is pretty useful. I recommend reading through it if you're wanting to go through this, but I'm not going to go through it right at the moment. Basically what this does is that it embeds a very easy to use Twitch bot in your OBS. So it runs within your OBS instance. The downside for this is that you need to keep it within each scene that you have open, but that's easy enough to get around. You just have to embed it in each one. Under this file is basically where the magic happens, right? So there's a settings folder, and if you go through this GitHub page, it'll tell you what settings you need to do. But basically, you need to input you need to go to a page in Twitch and get an authorization token, and you put it in here along with the user you have it as. Personally, I have a second channel that's a bot channel, and I have that doing the work. And you need to do a setting on OBS. It's tools. Once you get it installed, you have to do it in here, I think, because you have to open up a WebSocket in OBS. I'm not going to open that up either. But basically just opens up a WebSocket here on your computer, so it can listen to the Twitch API. As well as, actually, there's also integration for Streamlabs and Stream Elements. So if you have those set up too, you can have those be inputs to this bot as well. I think that's necessary for anything else that's outside of the chat. So like the rating, the follows, I think even like bits and stuff like that maybe. So if you just want to have it just work with chat, then you just leave it with the Twitch authorization token. Yeah, I use OBS instead of Streamlabs because, well, Streamlabs is easier to use and has more features just to like get you going. The plugins, it's just so easy to add plugins to OBS rather than Slobs or Streamlabs OBS. So I did actually use Streamlabs for a little bit. I mean, it's nice because it has that chat integration right there, and it can work with the Streamlabs integrations like the chat window, the overlays that it adds, but you can add those pretty easily to OBS anyway with the browser source. Anyway, so you go to here, and then basically once you're done to set up the settings, there's in the main work is in this triggers.txt file. And this is where all the settings for the bot are. I don't want to say all the settings, but all the commands for it. So I have it kind of broken out right now. Basic things like you can have it respond to a command. You know, if there's something in chat and it's like a command chat, and then you can just send a text back, like a chat's response. So like on, Wanker scan right here. So I have it be able to respond to when you type in !Wanker, and it'll say initiating while the user who sent this command is the wanker. Yeah, but you can get more sophisticated. There are a lot more things you can do with it. And the big thing is this voice attack integration. So up here is an example. It does an API get. Yeah, I don't like this either, and I think this is honestly the weakest link to me. While this is very, very useful to get up and running quickly with a bot, you gotta do it. You gotta do it through this text file. This is a little pseudocode nonsense, and it's nice if you don't know programming language, right? But if you do, it's kind of a headache. I think, like if you're used to coding, it's another thing to learn. But it's going and it works right now, so that's great. But yeah, so this is where it gets off beyond onto the next thing. This is where we're going to stop talking about Kruiz Control and be talking about voice attack, because what it does right now is that it's sending this is doing an API get, and I'll explain this later. But this is how it's talking to the voice attack program. There's much better explanations on this program out there, and it does a lot more than what I'm going to be focusing on it. This program can recognize like key commands, but what it does is that once it detects something and you just set up commands for it, you can have it initiate keystrokes or send commands to a different program, and I'll get into that right here. So here's the program itself, or the window, and let me edit my profile. So I only have the 3 commands set up for right now. That is being, previous, next, and the auto change. Yeah, it's kind of like an auto hotkey. Yeah, where it's more like a kind of like a macro thing, right? Like you could set up like a Stream Deck kind of, where you would. No, I personally haven't used Stream Deck because I don't have one, but you can input. You basically set a button and have it do a thing on any of the programs that are installed on your computer. Yeah. So let me just do the Nestdrop next. So you need to have it be set up where he says like when I say something, when I press a button, when I press these combination of keys. When that happens, then you execute these commands. So this macro here. And how I make this work right now is in Nestdrop, you have shortcuts, key shortcuts. And so I will have it press keys within Nestdrop. So right here, like you can see, you can send the command to this target and it's Nestdrop, and I have it set to this one specific profile I have open. Kind of annoying because I have to open up this profile for it to work, but whatever. I might want to fix that. But then there you go. And I have a 15-second pause, and I have that so it doesn't get spammed. And it's basically the same thing with this, with the other two. So I have the previous, the next, and the auto change. I gotta change this. This ant. Get out of here, ant. I don't know how I get rid of the ant. God damn it. All right, I'm closing Nestdrop. So Lurk says, I do all my scripting, macros, and voice attack and then trigger them through my Stream Deck by loading a page in the background using what he's going to show. Okay. Yeah, so, and the next thing I guess would be Lurk's custom plugin for OBS, not for OBS, for voice attack. Right, here it is. Okay, but basically it's opening like a port on your computer, and it can listen to URL commands, and you can send it. I think it's basically like just like a URL API, or what do I say, like almost like a Rust commands, right? And what it will do, and it's only listed on the local side, so it's opening up a local host. So like see here, you're just going to list your local host, or it can be on the on your LAN. So it's default set up to be on your local machine. I think it's just your 127.0.0.1 port number 55569. I like the 69. That's very nice. And so what that does is that you can it opens up voice attack to these HTML or HTTP gets, and you can send get commands. Yeah, exactly. It's default to be local host, but you can. I mean, it's explained on the page here on the README, but you can expand that to be listening on the LAN side, as well as this Rabbit MQ, and I think this is to do a queuing system. So there's like lots of commands coming through. You can have them sit in a queue rather than being just floating out as a UDP command that gets lost. I think that's basically what's going on. I don't know I'm not sure off the face of it which protocol this is using, but I'm guessing that it'll just get lost if it doesn't respond on immediately. So that you download that plugin. There's instructions how to do so. So like right here, this alpha version 3. Download that, install that, put that into the plugin folder of the program. So here's voice attack. So here's it. I have it, here I downloaded it, I unpackaged it. Oh, nice. Okay. So it's kind of like that. Yeah, definitely an alpha if it hasn't been tested yet. I get that. And then I think, oh yeah. So you have your install folder of voice attack. Let's open that up. Right here. So it'll be under apps, not plugin folder. And then here it is right here. And the one thing that I missed, because it's just easy to miss. I think you gotta go to the options. And you gotta enable the ability for plugin support. So it took me a little bit. It took me forever. I like an hour or so, like trying out like what's going on. I think it's this kind of stuff. Definitely can go over people's heads, and I don't think what I'm doing right now is totally demystifying it, but I hope it demystifies it a little bit. And the one thing you want to see, it'll show up here. It'll show up the plugin is initialized, and so that's when you know that that it's working and it's ready to go. And so basically, if you just select that default, it'll be that one the local host on the default port, as you can see here, and you'll see that it's a basically like typing a website command. So your HTTP localhost, your port, and then all this is just for it to be read by the voice attack. So this is where I'm thinking like it's the Rust stuff, because it has the Rust setup here. You got command equals Nestdrop, and here's where you would name it as the spoken command here. I mean, it works, Slurk, so yeah, it's working. And then that's it. And then once that all happens, you would go to your chat, type in a command, and this would and then it would initiate these. I'll try to show you guys what it is. Let me see if I have it open at the moment. Discord, no. I would need to I have different scene collection up, so I don't have the Kruiz Control bot working at the moment. But just imagine it worked. I'll turn on the shortcut. I'll show you what would happen. So when I press these keys, okay, left Alt, left Shift, and then 2. So if I pressed left Shift, left Alt, and number 2, it shows up in the window, the voice attack window here, as it initiates. Now, of course, see right here, it knows that this was pressed, but since I don't have Nestdrop open at the moment, it was unable to set, finalize the command. Yeah, and that's the thing about this stuff, is that getting into the visuals and it also being on a stream like this, it's not noob friendly. It's it can feel, if you're not already comfortable with doing, tinkering on a computer, it might seem a little overwhelming. But I assure you, I hope that this helps out, getting someone to initialize all this. Yeah, of course, again, this is a lot more work, but that's also because we're integrating Twitch the Twitch chat and the Twitch commands into your program, and the world's your oyster at this point. So it doesn't need to be just with Nestdrop, right? It can be used on other programs, anything that has shortcuts. And even there's one thing I want to do next that Lurk has listed in the Stream Dev Discord, and that is to add in the fake MIDI controller. So if you want, I have to figure that one out myself, but create a software MIDI controller, and then that can integrate with other programs too. Yeah, the send MIDI exe, so it does the MIDI commands to a virtual MIDI controller. And if a program has MIDI integration, like a lot of these software programs do, you can have that, integrate that way. Oh, yeah, you're welcome, Cosmic Cowboy. Yeah, I do hope this helps. This is just what I've learned too. I mean, there's other programs that are very favored by the group. Synesthesia is one of them. I find that one frustratingly clunky. It's not user-friendly at all, and I tried a little bit, and I think maybe I'll get into it later, but it looks so cool, it looks really good, and it has a lot of integration with the video, but from what I can tell, it's just really clunky. I just like the ability of the Nestdrop to just to work, I guess, and to have that control right there. The nice thing about Nestdrop is that there's like a big Milkdrop community, or at least there was, and you can find a lot of presets that people make, and also you can create your own. I haven't gotten into that. You basically need to have WinAmp anyway to do that, and to do the creation of Milkdrop presets. But you can do it. You can create your own, tinker around with it. Definitely, it's more of a command line thing. You have to go into it, and let me pull that up. Actually, I'm going to go in depth, not too much in depth, but there are a lot of community-made Milkdrop presets that you can get, and I downloaded a ton of them, and I haven't pulled them into Nestdrop yet, but you can. So like right here, here's the Milkdrop presets. I was starting to split them up into what I thought was good or not so good. So this is I guess I got 3 just so far. Now let's open with Notepad. So this is how this is like what it would read, and how you would create your custom preset. It is quite a lot, but what was nice is that you could open up WinAmp, watch what's going on live, and then mess with it. What are you guys talking about? Sorry, I kind of went off on that one. Oh, okay. Well, if you skip Lurk, well, sad to not see you, but you know what? You're probably playing tomorrow anyway, so it'll be cool to see you tomorrow. Oh yeah, and that's the thing about Synesthesia, is that I think it's so cool that everyone is using it, and I think it's just so clunky that it really puts people off from getting away from the default presets. So It's all similar. But I'm glad to see that a lot of people are getting into it, or digging into it, I should say. I think the biggest, the ones I remember, was like, yeah, Crumble Noob. You were using it, right? You're the one who started all that. And then Recycle's using it now, and then as well as No One. And I'm glad to see that No One and Recycle are doing their own thing with it now. Like there's like a couple weeks, right, where it was just all defaults. It would look good, but it just like, if that was then it was a meh on my part. But we'll see. I mean, there are only so many visualizer programs out there, right? So it's like this, like Synesthesia or Nestdrop, and there's going to be a lot of similarity, I think, just in regards to using it that way. But I think next steps, there's other ones out there, like you guys were saying, Resolume. I haven't dug into that one, but definitely seems a better visualizer VJ program. Yeah, exactly, Lurk. I try to do the same as well, where it's just like, even if it's like a really tiny thing, just one little thing, that changes or improves. Doesn't always need to be the biggest thing. It's just the gradual improvement, right? I got where to go. Moving to next week, next stream, to where the heck did I put it? Oh, it's in here, I think. I mean, let me change the camera. I got this Sunday, or got delivered Sunday. The Nano Control 2, just a little MIDI controller, but I hope to use that in conjunction with Nestdrop. I'm not sure exactly how integrated it'll be. Probably just a little bit, right? But one thing I want to try out is Magic Music Visuals, MMV. I got the demo for it, and I want to try it out, see how it works out, and maybe if I like it that way, I'll try to purchase the whole thing. It seems like, from what I can tell from other channels like Scotty Fox, is that it's a good intermediary like Resolume, or you can do things. Yeah, it has the modular programming, so it looks really nice, where you can input a lot of the control of Magic Movie MMV into this guy, and then control it that way. And then I can send in visuals and stuff from MMV to Nestdrop, other way around. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I guess one more thing, right? If you're looking for a card to stream with, 100% go NVIDIA. You do not want an AMD card. And they both are fine in terms of as a graphics card. It's just outside of the gaming or the graphics aspect, is that NVIDIA has so much more support outside of outside of that, and that is, like Recycle's saying, the NVENC encoder is fantastic, and if you have the ability to use it, do so, because it pulls all that computation off of your CPU, especially if you're doing a lot of multitasking, like I know I am, where it's doing all the visuals, it's doing the mixing, whatever. 770, I don't know. That might be a little too old school, right? Yeah. So there's just some little guy. You gotta let him out someday. He's probably working far too hard. It probably has I think there's been an update to NVENC, right? There's like 2 iterations or 3 iterations of NVENC, and of course the newer cards work more better, right, with it. But another thing about it too is that they have their beta programs out there, like like the NVIDIA broadcasting software. Now, I recommend getting this if you have a 20 or a 2000 X card or higher. And why that is because of if you want to be on camera and have visuals behind you, but don't want to deal with this, then it's great. It's not perfect. The broadcast software, what it'll do is actually do a green screen effect, crop you out of the frame, and just you can have yourself overlay with the program. Also, too, is that if you do that, you can have, we're talking about feeding feeds into Nestdrop. This is what I want to do next, is to take a green screened me and input it into a Nestdrop scene. So that way it'll look cool. I don't know. I think I'll just do I think there's a lot of possibilities with that. But if you get the broadcast software, I'll show you right here. Yeah, here we go. So is it this? No, this page. Yeah, here we go. Video broadcast software. Download this. It's the biggest. I mean, obviously, it's more for just like working from home type of situations. It has two features: noise cancellation on the microphone and the green screen effect. But for DJing stuff, you can have it do the green screen effect, and it works pretty well. It's not great, or maybe it's not perfect. It'll still like crop things in and out, like on your shoulders and stuff, but it does the job. And I do like the the flexibility of this, or not the flexibility, but I do like this overall better. But doing a green screen, an actual green screen, is a hassle because you got to have it up, right? You got to have good lighting to separate you from the background. You got to have an actual good fabric, and that fabric is not that good. So it's my whole green screen thing is okay. Yeah. And yeah, I think that's about it I have that I want to talk about. I hope this helps. I'm going to probably clip this and put it onto maybe the EMP YouTube page, something like that. Maybe there could be other further iterations of this kind of talk. I don't know. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and asking questions and talking in the comments. Appreciate it. And I hope this helps again. And I think we're going to go to